We took on a flooring project at my parents' house, and it was definitely needed. The bedrooms had old wood floors that were lifting and buckling from water damage, and the tile in the main living space just felt super dated. So we wanted to give the whole house a fresh, cohesive look and also make it safer for my mom to get around. We kicked things off in the primary bedroom. We started by pulling up the old wood floors and found that there was no moisture barrier under the wood, which explained why the planks were lifting. So this time around, we laid a vapor barrier first. Then we added spacers along the wall for the expansion gap. For the bedroom, we chose Malibu wide planks engineered hardwood in the color Mavericks. It's such a warm and pretty tone. The boxes came with 4 different plank lengths, which made it super easy to stagger the pattern and gave the whole space that custom high-end look without the extra effort. The hardwood has a tongue and groove design, so you use a special adhesive between the seams to lock everything in place. Make sure to keep a damp rag handy to wipe off any excess glue before it dries. Use a pull bar and a rubber mallet to tap each piece into place and close up the seams tight. We used a flooring saw for all of the straight cuts, and then we used a multi-tool to undercut the door jambs and a jigsaw for those tricky corners and edges. You're probably wondering what the blue painter's tape is about. Well, the manufacturer recommends using painter's tape to keep the floors tight during the drying process. So you put it along 4 to 5 rows at a time, and then you let the flooring dry overnight before replacing any furniture. Next, we moved into the main living area and kitchen. I know you're wondering why the tile looks such a mess. Well, we prepped it by filling in the grout lines with a flooring leveler to kind of get everything even. For this space, we opted for Malibu Wide Planks luxury vinyl planks in the color Maverick as well. The luxury vinyl planks come with the underlayment already attached, which is super convenient. They have a click and lock design, so install is very straightforward. The Mavericks color looks just as good in the LVP as it does in the engineered hardwood, which made it super easy to keep the whole house looking cohesive. It's thinner than hardwood, and since we're installing it over tile, it helped keep the floor height even with the bedrooms, so now everything will flow nicely without any weird transitions. You can use a utility knife to score and snap, or you can use a power saw like a flooring saw or circular saw, whatever your preference. Installing the first few rows is the trickiest part because things are shifting around, but once you get those few rows in, it goes pretty quick after that. There were a lot of weird angles in this space, so we had to use brown paper templates to trace out cuts before transferring them to the planks. Once we got to the kitchen, we moved the appliances out of the way so that we could install the flooring underneath. This part was a little bit tricky because it's a pretty tight space and those appliances, especially the fridge, are heavy. After we finished the flooring, we reinstalled the quarter round that we had removed from the toe kicks of the cabinets. Last stop was the guest bedroom. Just like the primary, it had damaged wood floors from not having a moisture barrier. So we pulled everything up, scraped off the leftover glue, and then found a little crack in the concrete. So we hit that with some Flex Seal before moving on. Then it was the same process as before. Vapor barrier goes down first. Then we installed the engineered hardwood using the adhesive in the seams, the pull bar and the mallet to tap everything in. And of course, we had to use the flooring saw and the multi-tool and jigsaw whenever they were needed. I would like to replace the baseboards in this room at some point, but for now we're keeping them. So we just added some quarter round along the bottom to finish everything up. What a huge difference this new flooring has made. The transition strips between the hardwood and LVP look super clean. You honestly can't even tell they're 2 different flooring types. That's one of the biggest reasons we love Malibu Wide Plank. They make it easy to mix engineered hardwood and LVP while keeping the same color. So we got to use what made sense for each space without giving up that seamless, stylish look we were going for. Now everything feels brighter, it's safer, and just so much more updated, and my parents love it. If you are planning your own flooring project, you can find Malibu Wide Plank Flooring at the Home Depot online. Definitely check out their coordinating options. You'll be obsessed with how it all comes together. Big thanks to Malibu Wide Plank for sponsoring this video. This is my husband's childhood home, and the flooring makeover was long overdue. These floors hadn't been touched since the home was built in the 90s. The kitchen still had old vinyl tile, and the carpet in the dining and living area was super worn out. It just felt dated, and we really wanted to give the home a fresh, cohesive look that actually reflected our style. After moving all of the furniture, we moved on to tearing out that old carpet. Fun times, right? And then came the not so fun part, pulling out all of those tiny staples from the subfloor. But it's one of those things that you have to do to get a nice clean surface. Next, we taped spacers around the walls to leave room for an expansion gap so the flooring can expand and contract over time. Then we gave the subfloor a good sweep and rolled out an underlayment, which basically helps with sound, adds a little cushion underfoot, and protects from moisture. We went with Malibu wide plank engineered hardwood in the color Astoria, and it is so good. Each box of the engineered hardwood came with 4 different plank lengths, which made it super easy to stagger the pattern and gave the whole space that custom high-end look without extra effort. To cut the flooring, we used a traditional flooring saw. We have quite a few pillars in the space, so we had to pull out the jigsaw for those custom cuts. And then for the doorways, we used an oscillating multi-tool to undercut the door jamb so the planks could slide right underneath. The engineered hardwood has a tongue and groove design. We used a special adhesive between the seams to lock everything in place. Make sure to keep a damp rag handy to wipe off any extra glue before it dries. We used a pull bar and a rubber mallet to tap each piece into place and close up the seams tightly. We really love how it turned out. Astoria is such a beautiful color, and doing the hardwood in our main living spaces gave it this cozy and elevated feel. In the kitchen, we installed Malibu Wide Planks luxury vinyl planks, also in the color Astoria. And let me just say, I love how easy it is to coordinate both vinyl and engineered hardwood in the same color. It makes the whole house feel pulled together even though we use different materials. Just like with the hardwood, we taped spacers along the wall to leave room for an expansion gap. We decided to install the LVP right over top of the existing vinyl tile, which saved us a ton of time. One of my favorite things about this vinyl is that it comes with the underlayment already attached, so we didn't have to lay anything down first. It uses a click and lock system, which made the install super straightforward. For straight cuts, we just scored with the utility knife and snapped the planks. For the tighter spots around cabinets, we used the jigsaw, and for the door jambs, we undercut again with the oscillating multi-tool. We used the pull bar and the rubber mallet to tap everything into place and make sure the seams were tight. It's such a great option for kitchens, waterproof, stain-proof, and dent-proof, which is exactly what we need in that space. And because it's the same Astoria color as the hardwood, it all flows perfectly. You'd never guess we used 2 different materials. This whole flooring update gave the home such a glow up. Everything feels brighter, cleaner, and way more our vibe now. And being able to coordinate vinyl and engineered hardwood with Malibu wide plank in the color Astoria made it all super easy, and it all looks amazing. Big thanks to Malibu Wide Plank for sponsoring this video.